Well, it is 8 o'clock hour, brought to you by Old Blues Garage. When it comes to getting tune-ups, brakes, oil changes, transmission services, alignments, suspensions, all that good stuff, you go by Old Blues Garage at 1420 Highway 380 Bypass. You can call them at 549-1570. Make an appointment. Go by and talk to Raphael, the new service manager, and let him help you out. And he's going to do it. Old Blues Garage bringing you the 8 o'clock hour. And as we always do every Wednesday on the 8 o'clock hour, we kick things off with Joe, the Bryan Insurance guy.
What's going on, Mr. Rick?
Another day in paradise. And
a little chilly out there, huh?
It's a little chilly. 40 degrees this morning.
I had the discussion this morning in my household about at what point can we turn on the heat.
Yes. Do you have central heat?
Yes.
Okay. See, I don't have central heat.
What are you trying to do to me, Rick?
I'm just saying, you live in the land of riches.
Yeah,
I'm over there with these little space heaters, huddled up beside some tattered blanket beside the space heater. Well, you got central heat. Woo, woo, woo.
We have to have a barrel fire in the middle of my house.
Exactly.
We have to have the hobo fire.
That's right. We have to go gather cans for. Well, that's another story for another day.
Anyway,
but yeah, it is going to be cool. We even have a chance of some freezing temperatures Saturday morning to Sunday.
Thanks, Rick. I guess I'm really going to have to turn the heat on now.
So, Tanya, just who was throwing the biggest fit?
Who do you think, Rick?
It was Caden.
No,
it was Tanya.
Yeah.
It was Tanya, okay.
She wanted to know at what point we could turn it on, and I said, no, we don't turn the heat on now because now is when we make up for those massive electric bills in the summer.
Right.
And, kind of get a little energy savings going on. That's what they make blankets for, Rick.
Yeah. Electric blankets are good ones, too.
Sweatshirts and all that good stuff.
And so, and huddled beside a little space heater, like in my house.
Uh-huh.
All right, there's one job. Well, there's a lot of jobs around the house a lot of people don't like messing with.
Yep.
Having to do yard work in the middle of summer is no fun.
Never.
Washing dishes is never fun. I don't like it. But, housework, stuff like that. But one of the jobs I think a lot of times that people don't like doing is laundry. And a lot of times we kind of just take it for granted. It's like, let's get this over with.
Yep.
And over the years, we forget about that clothes dryer, what it could possibly be building up in that thing.
It's amazing when you think about it because, our duties in the household are usually I'll wash them, I'll throw them in the dryer, and then I'll put them in the basket. And, I usually try every time to change that lint filter. Just because, I'll tell you, they did a study back in the National Fire Protection Association back in 2010, did a study and estimated 16,800 fires that involved clothes dryers and washing machines. Clothes dryers accounted for 92% of the fires, with the leading cause of dryer fires, say that a few times.
That would be the majority of fires for you in Burke Burnett.
Yeah. The majority, the 92% of the fires that involved those were because of a dirty dryer. And so people sometimes don't think about it. I actually had a client many years ago that had told me, their dryer caught on fire because they never really cleaned out the lint filter. The lint filter is a great idea to clean out every time you take a load out, just because it helps not only does it help the efficiency of the dryer because it allows better airflow, and that's the best thing you can do to dry your clothes faster is have that airflow going through there. But that lint filter will back up and build up. And if the air can't get through there's really a really high risk of that thing catching fire. And so the study was saying one of the things you need to do is clean the lint trap always. And like I said, if you can do it when you take that dryer load out, that's the best. And not only clean the filter off the front and the back, sometimes you got to get a vacuum cleaner or something like that. But they also said that filter itself, if you use some fabric softener and things of that nature, it will get kind of an oily coating of film on that lint filter. So, hey, once a month, get in there and just kind of maybe take some dish soap, kind of clean out that filter side by side, let it dry, stick it back in there, and that's going to be a huge help. The other thing, not only the filter itself, but they make these devices, you and I were talking about them a few minutes ago, that allow you to go down, kind of a snake, to go down into the front of the filter and get what the lint filter missed, and there's clobs and globs of lint down in there, and you attach it to the end of a vacuum, goes in there, kind of cleans that area out. They also say that it's a good idea, depending on how your exhaust fan for the dryer is, it's a good idea to kind of pull that out, and check that hose that comes out of the back of the dryer. Not only go into the wall, but if you can snake it inside the wall as well and kind of just get all that goop out, not only does it help, again, the air flow better, but you're going to not run into an issue of possibly having a fire. And then the biggest thing they said to do as well, about every 18 months or so, and you may want to consult a professional for this, but unplug the dryer, pull it out from the wall, kind of take the back panel off, and get a vacuum cleaner and kind of clean up underneath it as well around the motor. Because anytime you've got lint and buildup around electrical parts, you run the risk of a spark or a fire or something like that. And it's just overall maintenance. You know, we talk about it all the time, house maintenance, things that you got to do around the house just to kind of keep it up and prevent bigger problems from happening down the road.
You know, the wild thing about that Lint Trap thing, and I've seen this before.
What's the deal?
What's the deal with the Lint Trap? Well, the thing is that those things don't just catch fire and start burning.
No.
What it does is it starts smoldering.
Yes.
And then it will catch fire. So what will happen is, a lot of times you'll be drying your clothes. You say, what is that weird smell? And then you go outside or you leave for a little bit, go to the store, then bam, your house is gone.
Exactly.
So the best thing to do is, never leave your dryer unattended if it's working.
Right.
But also, once you get through, like you said, once you get through drying some clothes, pull that Lint Trap out and throw that stuff away.
Oh, yeah.
Or if you want to be environmentally friendly, set it out on your back porch, and birds will use it to make nests and stuff.
Then you got to clean up the nest. And
I guess so. But I'm just saying is that I got into it one year over this. A friend of mine.
You know what it's great for, though? We used to do this quite often back in my younger days when I'd go camping all the time. Would save it in a very large plastic bag. It makes a great fire starter out camping and stuff like that. So you can kind of put a little bit of that together. It makes a great little fire starter. So you can save it, or you just throw it away. Either way. But so yeah, that's kind of a big. The other thing I want to talk about today, and it's we talked about the heat turning on this morning. That always seems to be, and I can guarantee it, as sure as I'm sitting here this morning, that you'll see within the next 2 to 3 weeks, you'll start seeing on the news where house caught on fire, probable cause, the heater being turned on.
Yep.
And so what typically happens, you see it a lot in apartment complexes, houses, where the first time somebody kicks that heat on, and it usually happens in the middle of the night because people go to bed, they say, hey, I don't want to be cold, I'm going to turn that heat down, and the heat kicks on about 1, 2 in the morning just as that temperature gets to the heat setting. Next thing you know, the AC hasn't been serviced. AC heater hadn't been serviced in a while. Next thing you know, the house catches fire. And people are wondering, hey, what the heck? Well, it's a really good idea. Give your local service folks a call. We've got plenty of them here in town. Hey, you know what? Can you come out, just charge me for a service visit to come out, check everything, make sure everything's good to go. We got pilot lights that need to be lit. Maybe just check everything, give it the once over, make sure that I'm good to go, because the last thing you want to be woken up to, everybody hates the alarm in the morning, but you don't want to be woken up to the fire alarm, which is also a reminder, a segue into, guys, get those smoke detector batteries changed out too.
Change them out, make sure they're good to go. Another thing, I know a lot of people don't think about this, but with Thanksgiving coming next week, people are going to be getting their houses all ready to roll and that kind of stuff. Probably going to be burning some candles. Get it away from things that's going to catch on fire.
Yeah, guys, candles are great. They have all kinds of candles these days that don't have open flames, though, too. Whether it's a Scentsy, whether it's a flameless candle that just has a light in it that looks cool and puts out a scent. I mean, there's a lot of things that you can do to prevent accidents around your house, and you want to try to do that as much as you can, especially, like you say, with people coming over, but with the heat coming on and drying clothes and all that. I mean, all of this is to tell you that it's a good idea to do the best that you can to keep from having a problem and, having your house catch fire, and next thing you know, you're kind of up a road and it's cold and all that good stuff.
Now, if folks are thinking, okay, well, I'm going to check all that kind of stuff. While you're checking all that, you need to check and make sure your homeowner's insurance is up to date. And that's calling you and finding out what's up.
Yep. It's a really good idea. Check your homeowner's policy. We say it all the time. And there's so many times throughout the year that it's pertinent to actually do check it. But now's another really good time to say, hey, let me make sure I got my coverages scored away. Biggest thing you want to deal with in a house fire, one of the biggest things is having a place to go while your house is being repaired, additional living expense. If you've got a policy, and we see them so many times, policies that are really old, you may not have enough coverage. For example, I saw a policy, can't say that too many times, Saw a policy the other day for a house that's, 3,000 square foot, and there was only $98,000 worth of coverage to rebuild the house. Folks, I can tell you, I'm not sure where you're living, but a 3,000 square foot house is not getting rebuilt for $98,000. It's just not going to happen.
No.
Typical typical houses start to build anywhere from $100 to $110 a square foot just to throw up. And so if you're way underinsured, you're going to be stuck either paying the rest of it, or they're going to be looking at you and saying, hey, we only got enough money here to build half a house. And so it's a good idea. Have your policy checked, especially if it's been a policy you've had for a while. Get it checked. Get somebody to take a look at it. We'll make recommendations for you, show you where maybe there's some gaps in coverage. And like I always say, at the end of the day, we just want to make sure you're covered the way you need to be.
Yeah. Go by and check it out at Bryan Insurance, second floor of the Sierra Bank Building, 549-2525. All right, you're listening to the Old Blue Garage 8 o'clock hour. Joe Cocker coming up. Sports on the way. Stay tuned.